I think if we would like you guys to leave with anything from tonight, it would be permission to come out of the closet as an ecstatic. If any of these techniques, if any of these practices have been significant for you in your life, but they may have been fragmented, or you may have sometimes felt that they were wrong or immature or distracted or whatever it would be, just to understand, they may be of a feather. There may be a logic to my seeking and to my choices that I didn't realize. And that there's an awful lot of evidence to support and validate that seeking. So if there's a surfboard in your garage you're reluctant to let go of, if you still pine away for those days where you used to dance all night to music, if you're missing, right, some deep connection with a lover or a partner and wondering how to get that back, just know that instinct is coming from a really solid place that a number of other people share. And the final part is, what can we do with all this? Because if now's the time, if this truly is an inflection point, if this truly is different than every time in the past, where basically you have established orthodoxies controlling and micromanaging it, you have little outgroups occasionally figuring this out and getting squashed, right? What chance do we have today, and what do we do with this? Because it's not just to feel good, right? And what we don't have time to go into today is, some of the research validated benefits of it. But in a nutshell, successfully pursuing these states and integrating them into our lives can help us heal from some of the profoundest traumas humans experience. Childhood abuse, sexual trauma, war trauma, the results on these studies, regardless of which mechanisms you use, whether it's flow states, whether it's meditation and mindfulness, whether it's psychedelic therapy, all of them have comparably similar results, because it's that change of channel and it's that release and reset that is so profoundly healing. So they can heal us. They can also massively accelerate learning and innovation, as that University of Sydney study that Stephen shared can demonstrate. And they can also bond us together to perform and tackle grand challenges. And if you think about it, if you compare, Hillary's vaunted ground game in this past election versus Trump's rallies, and zero ground game, zero organizational infrastructure state by state. And everyone was baffled afterwards, like, what the hell? How did that happen? Well, how it happened is that Trump leveraged the power of communitas. What happens when people connect? And what happens when they feel defined by a tribe, defined by an other, right? And feel a powerful state shift. You can make a case. It's why intuitively he's continuing to do rallies right now, because that's how he's continuing to prime our base. What did Hillary have? Bless her cotton socks. She had policy wonk platform stuff, right? The last time, right, Bernie activated communitas on the progressive side. Obama 08 did something comparable, right? And unless progressives figure out how to reignite that part, they're going to get their asses handed to them all day long. And what's possible here is, if we can integrate these things, if we can understand cognitive literacy, how does my body and my brain affect my mind and my heart? And who else is trying to get my mind share with or without my permission? Then we can potentially take a stand for what we believe in. And then it's not asymmetrical warfare. And I want to leave you guys with one potential notion. And this is a little bit of like dorky developmental psych, but if you'll bear with me to set it up, I hope it pays off, which is, in order for us to reach a level of psychological development, like ego-centric, right? The terrible twos kid, right? In order for that terrible twos kid to move into the stage of being egocentrically oriented, he has to separate from his mommy. He has to realize there's a you in order to define himself as an I. In order to move to the next step, to ethnocentric, right? Our tribe. In order to define our tribe, there has to be an other. So I have to constantly go beyond the level I'm moving into in order to define and integrate that level. In order to move beyond ethnocentric, right, to global-centric, right? What does it take for us to have global-centric perspective? Well, it would follow we have to go beyond the globe. We have to go to a cosmic-centric perspective. So what does Cosmo-Centric look like, and how the hell do we get there, right? Well, if you take a look at the astronauts, they're probably the initial subset that just via technological engineering and ingenuity have had an experience beyond global perspective. They've looked back at this little blue marble. They've seen the sunrise come up behind it and said, oh my God. They've watched the earth rotate. They've seen the Ganges. They've seen the Nile. They've seen the Amazon. They've seen it go. And they've said, we are all together down there. And these states of ecstasis do something comparable for us, right? They don't physically transport us, right? They mentally transport us beyond ourselves, beyond our fragmentation and our isolation. And if we think about social justice, environmental justice, which is what Aslaj and John are doing, right, with this project, with the One Project, right? What is it about? I mean, you can make a case these days that there are no more boundaries, there are no more divisions. There's not, oh, I'm an environmentalist, or I'm a social activist, right? I mean, look at the Dakota pipeline, right? I mean, social justice, environmental justice, it's all coming together. We're in this. So the possibility is, can we use these states to inform us, inspire us, and take a stand? Can we use these states responsibly to be courageous in the face of what we face? Can we use them to be more innovative and creative? And if we can do that, then maybe this revolution stands a chance of succeeding just in time.